Since January 1, 2023, approximately 118,000 sea migrants have reached the shores of Italy, setting a new record that could alter the nation's landscape. Previously celebrated as Mediterranean gems, many Italian towns now find themselves at the forefront of an unprecedented crisis. In today's video, we'll explore the Italian cities most affected by illegal immigration. Are Italians at risk of becoming strangers in their own homeland? Stay with us to uncover the surprising crime statistics that have rocked cities like Genoa and Milan over the past year. Ventimiglia. Ventimiglia, a picturesque Italian town near the French border, has become emblematic of Europe's ongoing migrant crisis. Once a historic thoroughfare for travelers, it has transformed into a bottleneck for thousands of migrants aiming to reach northern Europe. This 8-year ordeal has laid bare the severe impact of uncontrolled migration, especially at the local level. Back in 2015, France tightened its border controls, turning Ventimiglia into an unintended holding area. The sudden influx left the town overwhelmed, struggling to cope with a situation for which it was not prepared. The housing market, already limited, has become fiercely competitive. Rents have soared, displacing local residents and forcing migrants into overcrowded and often unsafe living conditions. Many resort to makeshift shelters, erecting tents along the beaches or in secluded corners, a stark illustration of their plight. The population surge has also strained essential services. Ventimiglia now has the highest poverty rates in Italy, a harsh reality for its residents. Access to basic necessities like food and healthcare is a daily battle. The town's once charming ambience is overshadowed by rising tension and frustration among locals. Lampedusa. Lampedusa, once an idyllic island paradise, now stands as a microcosm of Europe's immigration crisis. The quaint harbor, formerly dotted with colorful fishing boats, is now cluttered with dilapidated smuggler vessels, some half-submerged, a somber reminder of the perilous journeys undertaken by migrants. Discarded life jackets and clothing float alongside plastic debris, vividly illustrating the human exodus. This debris is more than just litter, it's a tangible sign of a crisis pushing the island to its limits. Thousands of migrants, driven by conflict, poverty, and a desire for a better life, arrive at Lampedusa, the closest European territory to North Africa. The island serves as the first, often unwilling, stop on their dangerous journey. For the migrants, it represents hope for a brighter future, but for Lampedusa, it's a heavy burden threatening the island's very existence. Aid workers, exhausted and sleep-deprived, struggle to manage the relentless flow. Medical personnel attend to weary families and individuals disembarking from yet another boat from Tunisia. The numbers are staggering. Deputy Mayor Attilio Lucia reported that in 1 week alone, 12,000 migrants arrived, more than double the island's population. The reception center is overwhelmed, and migrants spill onto the streets, transforming the usual tourist haven into a scene of humanitarian crisis. The contrast is stark, exhausted, hopeful faces navigating a town that was built for leisure, not desperation. Restaurants and souvenir shops, once filled with tourists, now confront a new reality where survival is paramount. Lampedusa's plight highlights the profound human cost of uncontrolled immigration, a desperate plea for a sustainable solution from a small island caught in a global struggle. Rome. Italy, once a powerful echo of its Roman glory, now grapples with the pressures of unchecked immigration. Each year, tens of thousands are rescued at sea, with 40,000 returned this year alone. This crisis transcends mere numbers, it strikes at the heart of the nation's identity. Streets that once echoed with the grandeur of emperors are now lined with makeshift tents housing the homeless. Poverty has surged by 8%, directly linked to the overburdened social services. The education system, once a pillar of Roman society, now faces skyrocketing costs as schools struggle to integrate a steady influx of new students. Healthcare services, already stretched thin, are further strained by the growing population. Proponents of open borders overlook the devastating consequences: elderly citizens unable to afford basic necessities because social services are overwhelmed, and the erosion of Rome's cultural fabric as its streets become unrecognizable. If you enjoy our content, please subscribe to our channel and like this video. Turin. Turin, once a bustling industrial powerhouse, now faces a different kind of challenge. the city that once fueled Italy's economy is now under the weight of a growing migrant population. Factories that once buzzed with activity now stand silent, replaced by a pervasive sense of unease. This influx has changed more than the cityscape, it's straining vital services. Inflation has risen to 9%, making basic necessities a luxury for some. Schools struggle to keep up with the increasing number of students, and healthcare services are stretched to their limits. The social fabric of the city, once tightly knit, is now fraying. Recent months have seen protests in the city center, with residents expressing their frustration over the perceived lack of control. They argue that uncontrolled immigration is undermining their way of life, driving wages down, and making jobs harder to find. These tensions reflect a deeper anxiety, a fear that the city is losing its identity amidst rapid change. Genoa. Genoa, the birthplace of Christopher Columbus and a historic port city, now faces a contemporary dilemma. Its narrow alleyways and charming piazzas, once teeming with locals, are now seeing a significant influx of new residents, migrants. While some view this as cultural enrichment, the reality is more complex and concerning. Genoa, like many Italian cities, was not built to accommodate such a population increase. Affordable housing, already in short supply, is becoming a distant dream for many long-time residents. Landlords, seizing the opportunity, raise rents, pushing locals out of their neighborhoods. This issue is not solely economic, it strikes at the heart of the city's character. The historic center, once a close-knit community, is losing its identity. Overcrowding puts a strain on infrastructure, and sanitation concerns are rising. The unique blend of history and local life that defines Genoa is at risk, with uncontrolled immigration threatening to transform vibrant neighborhoods into anonymous dormitories. Milan. Milan, the fashion capital of Italy, faces a crisis that could unravel its glamorous image. A surge in immigration has stretched social services to the breaking point, with over 50 migrants arriving daily. This influx coincides with a rise in gang violence, with reports of turf wars erupting in neglected neighborhoods where many migrants settle. Crime rates have increased by 15% over the past year, disproportionately affecting these vulnerable communities. The economic strain is evident. Milan, already struggling with an 8% inflation rate, finds it challenging to integrate the new population. Competition for low-wage jobs is intensifying, potentially driving wages down for everyone. Who will address these pressing concerns? Thank you very much to everyone who has watched the video so far. I am trying to inform you as much as I can. I am working hard for these. I would like you to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much to everyone in advance. See you in the next video. Have a good day.